Nessa girl. Now, Nessa girl, I'm mad as hell with you because, bitch, you did not tell me. Girl, you did not tell me that the medicine hoes was carrying on the way they is on these last 2 episodes. No, God, honey. This last 2 episodes had me seeing red, bitch. I had to go change my red background on. I had to go do a hoodoo spell on this wig and turn her back into my angry black woman wig. And, bitch, cue the music, DJ. I got my red lipstick on. So listen, y'all, I'm just going to start with the last 10 minutes of the second to last episode and then give you everything you could feel on this last episode. First and foremost, Contessa, I am mad as fuck with you that you would think that Toya would hit you in the breast purposely. Like, don't get me wrong, Contessa, I understand you and Toya got this little thing that y'all take these passive digs at one another, but to think that that girl will purposely hit you in your chest, that's a different kind of low. And for me, Contessa, for me, if I was Toya, I wouldn't even be upset. I would be hurt. And at that point, it ain't even about the act of what you did. It's like, damn, bitch, you've been my friend all these years, and you think that poorly of me that I would hit you in your chest knowing that you had a double mastectomy over this basic shit that we arguing about. When it comes to Contessa thinking that, like, I'm really bothered by that. Like, that's damn, Contessa. Nevertheless, let's get down to the main event. Mariah and motherfucking Heavenly. Let me tell y'all something. There's so much going on in this situation. I'm just glad I just pushed back my lunch so I could talk to y'all about this. It's so much to unpack in this situation, and I guess we got motherfucking time today, so we finna do it. When I watched that scene with Heavenly, then it's Mariah, then Quad at the end. I think Simone might be in between Heavenly and Mariah. When Quad started speaking, the first thing I saw in Heavenly's body language, well, let me back up. The first little funny energy I felt was when at the very end, Quad didn't get a gift because she and Greg are not together, and Heavenly gave her a friendship gift. Let's stop right there. There were a lot of spiritual transactions that happened in that moment. The first spiritual transaction that took place was Heavenly solidified on the group, marked her territory, you know, signed, sealed, and delivered. I am friends with this girl on a deeper level than the rest of y'all because I got her this gift, and me and her been really kicking it, and we really been close, and I've really been a good friend to her. So that's what that did, right? Now, Mariah, being Quad's former best friend, who's been knowing Quad for years, they did something. I don't know if it was a deposit or a withdrawal, or it was an overdraft fee, or whatever, but it just did something. And I'm not saying that something is good or bad. It just did, it turned on or off something. Okay, follow me here. So then, ego starts to kick in just a little bit. So let me be more sisterly than you, or let me try to be the big sister I used to be in this situation, because now I want to let people know too that I'm this girlfriend as well. So Mariah asks questions, which were cool. Here's where things get shaky. I feel like Mariah pushed too hard. I really feel like she did. I feel like she pushed too hard. All the ladies know at this point, Quad don't want to talk about her marriage. And so when Mariah, and this is where I disagree with Mariah, and it's not even on no biased shit. How can you say to somebody your friends just want to know something after the lady done told y'all time and time again that she gonna tell y'all what she want to tell y'all when she want to tell y'all, and y'all still harping on y'all just want to know something? So you wanted to know something, she gave it to you. Quad broke down and was like, fuck it. Y'all want some tea? Here goes some motherfucking tea. And you know what, Quad? I'm glad you finally fucking gave them that, because that's what they did need / want as your friend group. Like, girl, give us the tea. What's that? Give us a real moment. Then when she started crying, that's when Heavenly was like, you know what? And all I was saying is that you don't got to answer nothing to her if you don't want to. Then, of course, Mariah was, I'm not talking to you. I was friends with... And see, here's how you know that deposit in that transaction or that something got activated or turned off. I was friends with her long before she knew any of y'all. That was a power play. Okay, like, girl, you might have bought her this little bracelet or whatever, but I know this girl. You just getting to know her. So all of that was going on in that moment. Like, it was so many spirits running around that motherfucking table. I did not know whether to eat, whether to run, or whether to call Iyan Levezan to do a voodoo seance and spray some outside, sage mixed with off mosquito spray to help these hoes. Lord help them. We need to have a preacher's wife show next and let it merge with the Married to Madison, but I ain't finished yet, Nessa girl. Now here's where things get escalated to the next level. Nowhere in the history of this show has anybody gotten beaten up to the point where somebody had to take a glass, break it, and hold it. We all black. We all grew up in black neighborhoods or inner city neighborhoods. That was an escalation. Now, okay, you know, with y'all, when it comes to Mariah, Heavenly, and Quad, I can't please none of y'all. No matter what the fuck I say, I'm biased towards Mariah. So for all of y'all out there, this what I'm gonna do. I ain't even gonna speak on it. For all of y'all out there who believe that I'm biased to Mariah and that I'm so against Mariah, can you drop down in the comments right now and please explain to me or rationalize why her breaking that glass over the table and holding it in her hand, why that was justified, okay, or good in your book? Pause the video right here. Okay, so then Heavenly told that bitch right. Bitch, you ain't dumb, because that's what you do. This bitch don't use a glass. Bitch, if you bad, use it. And the real gag is, you know what I'm saying, if Mariah was going to do anything, you break it, then use it. You ain't that girl. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, Heavenly gets mad. Now, equally as Mariah, Heavenly flings a chair. We ain't even going to start this debate about, but she didn't fling it by her or she did fling it by her. Heavenly was dead ass motherfucking wrong. Because Heavenly, at that point, now there was nothing left for y'all to do but fight. She broke the glass. That was one escalation. Heavenly matched her. Heavenly threw a chair. That was the sign of saying, bitch, what you want to do. Now, here's where shit went left. The husbands got involved. And here's the thing. Aiden was absolutely right in saying to Damon, man, after Heavenly threw that chair, get your wife. This is family. This is family. But Aiden, you was motherfucking wrong. Dead ass motherfucking wrong for not exercising that same goddamn energy when your wife broke that glass. I think half the time all the ladies be wanting from the men is for them to chastise and check their wives when this shit happen and stop giving the group this whole, you know, I'll talk to her behind scenes. Fuck that. They want to see, tell her that she's wrong. She's wrong. Now, Aiden, here's my thing. If you could recognize that Damon needed to get Heavenly when Heavenly stood up and slung that chair, how did you not have that same foresight to say that you need to get Mariah when she broke that glass? Or why do you get up and walk over and say, give me that glass? This was wrong. Why was Quad the one that had to sit there and do it? And let's just say for argument, okay, you didn't see her do it, you weren't paying attention. But definitely when her and Quad are tussling and Quad's like, give me this here, that was your point to say something. Or at least express some sort of disappointment. A simple Mariah, baby, come on, don't do that. That would have been enough. So I'm not understanding why you wanted Aiden and all of us, you wanted Daddy to somehow go get Heavenly after your wife was about to get Bamalam with a goddamn goddamn chair. But I'm gonna tell you one thing about it, bitch. Mariah told Heavenly ass she'll make Pico de Gallo out there, bitch. Heavenly girl, you better have picked up a chair. Don't you let no bitch cut you with no glass. Let me tell y'all one thing about me, and I don't give a good goddamn. I almost got in a fight one time and a bitch broke a bottle on me and I ran. Okay, and everybody laughed at me talking about I'm scary. Bitch, fuck you. Do you see what that bitch got in her hand? I ain't finna let no bitch have the opportunity to slice and dice my motherfucking face up for the sake of saying I ain't scary and I beat a bitch ass and I ain't no punk. Fuck that bitch. I'm scary. I'm scary that you gonna give me a stash infection all in my face. I'm scary that you gonna have my ass looking like a Domino's pizza that's been dropped on the floor. I'm scary that I'm not going to be able to qualify for America's Next Top Model. I'm scary that I'm not going to be able to find me a man down to the rich bar or the bar with a Honda cars because I'm looking like I've been dead. Clash, clash forever. Okay? There guys. So bitch, I'm running my scary ass the fuck down the yellow brick road. Okay? Fuck that, honey. So you better have picked up a chair, Heavenly. But I just hate that it went so far left the way it did. So then Simone goes off and talks to Aiden and Mariah. Okay, Aiden and Mariah. Okay, and you know, she tried to calm it down, and then Mariah looks back and says, you know what, Simone? You know, like, oh, hold on, that's the wrong portion. Mariah and Aiden fuss with Simone and want to talk about, you know, why is it that people chastise her, but they don't never get Heavenly when Heavenly says your mama. My initial response was gonna be because they don't feel it or recognize it as being that serious. It's Heavenly being childish. And Mariah, I personally question. I do. And I'm only questioning this not because it's Mariah, but because it wouldn't bother me. If somebody kept saying to me, your mama, and maybe it's because I'm from Miami and that's just the way we talk, that bitch and that's your mama, that shit would not bother me. Is it truly bothering Mariah to her core that Heavenly is being a fucking 11-year-old and saying your mama? Or is it Mariah holding on to something? Just holding on to something to have a reason to argue. I ain't gonna weigh in on it because I'm so fucking biased. Y'all drop that in the comments. And see, I had to figure out a way to be able to critique Mariah and satisfy you bitches at the same time. So I'm just gonna post the questions and let y'all hoes fill in the blank, and y'all can fight it out in the comments since I'm so damn biased. Nevertheless, which one is it? But here is the truth of the matter of the situation. Mariah, they don't stand up to Heavenly on your behalf, not because it's a double standard, but because they don't care. They don't care about you. And that's the God honest truth. It's not that they're holding Heavenly to a different standard. They don't care about you. So it's not second nature for them to defend you. They actually, like, inside probably like it when she eats you up. And on one of the future scenes forward, you and Aiden were outside talking with Simone and just saying, you know what, Simone, we just don't fit here anymore. Bitch, I told your ass that like 4.5 seasons ago that you didn't fit in the group, but I'm glad you finally fucking realized it. They don't respect you. And see, it's a difference between not liking a person and not respecting a person. When you lose respect for somebody, it is a fucking wrap. Like, it's a wrap. That drives everything. They don't like you to your core. They've agreed to be cordial and to tolerate you, but them women don't care for you at all. And that is why you're feeling that we don't fit in. It's because they've developed indifference for that ass, and that's your doing. Nevertheless, they get outside down to the pool, bitch, and Contessa come outside and try to talk to Toya, and Toya is not here for it. The Queen LATIFAH in command, and she has had it up to here. So Contessa is like, okay girl, cool, whatever, and Toya just sitting there mean mugging. Here's where shit gets sticky again. Simone get the tone back, you know, what's going on, ladies? Can we please, get the things going and they start giving apologies or whatever. You know, Toya and Contessa end up getting into an argument. And here's where I get pissed off with Toya. Contessa expressed the fact, and I can understand Contessa's logic. If you injured me to the point where I can't attend to the dinner and you honestly injured me on accident, it would seem to me that you would call me and say, girl, are you okay? Or that you would call me and be like, girl, you know, I heard they said you did, that you think I did this. I just want to see if you okay. And Contessa, I would never do that. I understand Contessa's logic, despite the fact that I don't agree with her thinking that you did it on purpose. What I'm not understanding, Toya, is all Contessa was trying to do was explain why she felt the way she felt. And you flew off the fucking deep end. But you the same dizzy bitch who wants people to give you all the consideration, allowances, and understanding when they can't even make it to a damn party or RSVP you for a fucking dinner or they're late. That same level of understanding that you wanted for, quite frankly, some shit that ain't even fucking important. Let's just put that shit out there. Contessa is trying to explain to you why and you just couldn't understand it at all. Now you see how everybody else feel when they don't want to respond to your damn in-debt parties. That shit infuriated me that Toya couldn't do that. Now the second thing that pissed me off was, you know, Mariah, you poke the bear, then you get mad when shit happens to you. How you gonna sit up there and say, you know, after Heavenly expressed something to you, talking about the glass, talking about I broke the glass accidentally just like your husband did. That was passive aggressive as fuck. Leave people, husbands, and families out of it. Because what you were trying to say was give me the same pass that they gave your husband. But the difference is Dr. Damon broke that glass by mistake. So again, Mariah, then in this instance, you was poking at Heavenly. Then you somehow or another or accidentally broke the glass behind you. And somebody, see, I'm just having a bad time with glasses. When Dr. Jackie helped clean up that glass, did y'all see the look on Dr. Jackie's face when she rolled her eyes and looked for a sign of her? Dr. Jackie was saying across the room to Simone, this bitch, this why I don't fuck with her. Look at her. That's what Dr. Jackie's eyes was saying. I have never seen Dr. Jackie give somebody a look so goddamn nasty, but I was here for every minute of it. Daddy and Aiden talking. You know, I'm glad they squared it out. I like the way Daddy handled it. He said, I'm not going to tell you what to tell your wife. Can you just talk to her? We ain't got to go number one on that. After Heavenly and Mariah get to arguing the second time out at the pool, Heavenly goes inside and finds Toya and they have their little powwow. And I love the fact that I think it was Toya suggested it or Heavenly suggested it, that we're going to try to be here for each other because this whole situation is very tense right now. And we don't know, you know, what to do with these women and why this is even happening. They had their little moment. So then Toya and Contessa come back outside. And that's when they had a big old fuss. Okay, we talked about that. I do like the fact that at least Jackie was able to calm the women down and say, let's start over. Let's start love over again. So then they move on to dinner. Now y'all already know a bitch be sitting on pins and needles when these reality shows had these damn dinners, because you always know it's gonna be some shit. I was going to say some slow singing and some flower bringing. No, Mariah got a hold of Heavenly ass with that goddamn glass. It was gonna be some slow singing and flower bringing. Hopefully this will be some salsa bringing and not salsa from Heavenly face. Nevertheless, Heavenly embarrassed the fuck out of Daddy down to that table when they asked her what's her favorite thing, and she was like, Daddy like it when I put it in my mouth. Dr. Damon was so embarrassed and Contessa was so tickled and the group was so taken aback. And Heavenly, honestly and truthfully, I love that tacky ass outburst. I did. It was tacky, it was nasty, and it was not for the glory of the kingdom, but I was here for it. And I love the fact that they attempted to have a fun game without incident. Somehow or another. Damn, y'all, I'm going through my list. My throat hurt as much as we got to goddamn talk about. It gets to Simone's time. Then Simone uses the word basic. You know, I'm a basic girl. When she basic. Now we not gonna use basic. And it's like, you know, Toya, you also got to understand there's an age difference between you and Simone. Basic for us, you know, it's got a slightly negative connotation. Simone, you know, Simone is more of a literal person. You know, shit, I do the basic positions or whatever. Not that I'm a basic bitch, even though, you know, on more days than not she is, but she a doctor, so she can't be too damn basic catch. Nevertheless, she basic by you Instagram thought measurements. And by y'all hoes that ain't got nothing going on, because the bitch that got an education like this and not like this, honey, like this. Okay, they ain't worrying about, you know, throwing ass. Mama say she ain't got to throw ass and wear sexy shit and ride all the dick and whatnot. She say I make good goddamn motherfucking money and Cecil ass ain't going no motherfucking well. Hello and good night. Nevertheless, then Toya jumps in during the middle of this woman's presentation, and I'm gonna make a judgment call on this one. Toya, you dead, that's wrong. She had the floor. Let her use whatever word she want to use. So then you getting mad because she don't want you to overtalk her, but you over talking her. Then Eugene gets in. Then you start, you know, with the whole bread shit. Then you and Eugene go back and forth. Then Eugene pulls you away from the table. And I'm gonna tell you something. Let me back up. Before we do that, Simone said, bitch, keeping it basic. Simone read Toya in a way that I'm only an intellectual person, because Simone told that bitch, keeping it basic, cut out a lot of shit, because you over there basically pop locking and dropping it, and your man was over there masturbating. So bitch, basic working over here. We've been married 32 years and hope you make it there while your man masturbating at 10. That's basically what she said. That's the girl. And when she said it, I had to just pause the TV and go pop a bag of popcorn because I was hungry, but I didn't want to spoil my lunch. So I just needed about 2 or 3 calories, 3 to 9 calories, and a sip of Pepsi to hold me over to this lunch. Nevertheless, girl, yes, girl, wipe your mouth, girl. She said that to that woman. Then the thing escalated, and Eugene took Toya to the grass. Toya started screaming at him, "Would you shut up?" I'm like, oh my God. And she did it again, "Would you shut up?" Oh my God. And then I honestly thought with Toya it would escalate physically. I've now come to learn that Toya is a balloon bubble that'll burst. You go, and then bam, she falls out into tears. And here's the thing that I like. Eugene, I gotta commend you, because after all these goddamn seasons, you finally checked Toya the way we've been hoping your ass would since goddamn season 1. And I guess Eugene's approach is I'm not gonna do this every 30 days, but when the time truly comes and I truly get fed up, I will get you together. Now I see why Toya and Eugene's marriage works, and I always felt as if Toya was over there just running that man in the ground and spending his damn money. I'm glad to see that Eugene just picks his battles wisely. He's just the overall nice guy, but when it's time to get in Toya's ass, he can and will. He chin checked the fuck out of Toya to the point of tears, and I loved it. And I'm going to tell you something that's also going to strengthen the relationships with y'all. Oh Lord, my wig itching up on there. I hope Toya don't control that, honey. Toya, help it stop itching if you is in control of my scalp. It signified to the group that, okay, he do got a backbone and he can't put her in her place when the time comes. And Eugene, hats off to you. You grew a pair of fucking balls, some gonads, some cojones, my man, and you got Toya's ass together. So much so that she came back to the table was a fucking mess. Yes, God, honey, when I wrecked them hoes, you didn't wreck her, but the way she was crying and falling apart at the table like jello, melted jello, that's how I do these hoes, falling apart. So then, you know, Simone takes Toya down to the bathroom, talks to her, and they come back out to the table, and she apologizes, and everything is all good. Then Toya claims to have fallen apart the way she did and be acting all crazy because the birth control. Oh God. And they say Toya out somewhere teaching kids education. I hope it ain't sex education, talking about birth control. And that's who y'all want to teach education. Okay, girl. She might need to bring some more people in her house while she building this big ass house. Build some staff quarters for some people to be around your kids. Because if that's the education you giving them girls, the boys, they going to be messed up. Here was the other interesting thing. Toya then moves on and explains that she's been so emotional because of what's been going on and the birth control. Then she falls apart and cries for Contessa. That's what's really bothering you. And what I don't like about what Toya does, and a lot of people do, fuck her, fuck her, fuck that bitch. She ain't got to talk. You being mean, and all the while you sitting there in misery because you miss your damn friend. Like Toya, like you, I'm gonna have to describe Toya as emotionally immature. Because you act out and you throw digs, but it's really because you missing Contessa. For you to sit there and cry the way you did, and you know what? For you and Contessa to be going back and forth the way y'all are going about something that seemingly don't make sense, it's because it's about something deeper. I don't know what it is. I speculate that it's on some Quan and Mariah shit, on some, you know, you on this show through me, but now you closer with them already, and you know, not to the extent that it was with Toya and I mean with Mariah and Quan, but I'm feeling like the core issue with Toya and them is that power dynamic. You over here with them. I brought you in through me, so you should always kind of be under me and be closer with me and kind of be my second hand, and not so over there with them when it comes to issues and opinions. And why you go close to this one and me and you seem to be. It's a lot of that going on. I speculate. I may be wrong. What killed it for me, though, is Toya then moves on to Mariah and Heavenly. And she says, can y'all just fucking stop at this point? Okay, and I get that part. Then she says, you know, Mariah and Heavenly, at the point in which y'all husbands is up in each other's faces. And then here's where things go left. Mariah in this moment is feeling like nobody ever ride for her. So for her, semantics, specifics, and speaking literally was important to her. It was the wrong moment. Mariah, it was whack as fuck. Toya was not blaming Aiden. Toya was saying, y'all are fighting to the point now where the husband's about to fight. Or to the point where Damon about to fight Aiden. However you need to word it. Let's not get caught up in semantics in this very moment. And can y'all just fucking stop? And then that turned into another goddamn situation where y'all ended up, you know, fussing again. And then that's when you walked off and, you know, nobody ever defends you. Or y'all not going to ask her to not say your mama, which they should have thrown that out there. But again, Mariah, they don't naturally know how to advocate for you because they don't care about you. So when you got outside during this scene and told Simone, we get it. We just don't fit here anymore. You were absolutely right. I think the spiritual and emotional bond has just been broken and damaged beyond reproach or repair with this group, Miss Girl. Eugene wasn't having it. I love the fact that Eugene, you know, was being real stern with Mariah in terms of telling her and Aiden's ass, y'all sitting here talking, and he wasn't telling them what to say or that they shit was right or wrong. But at the point in which y'all talking to the face where I can hear it about other people, either stay or go. And he told their ass absolutely right, and they left. And I really think it was Eugene doing that to them that really solidified Mariah and Aiden feeling like, yeah, this just ain't the crew for us no more. Why don't they fuck with Mariah? Maybe, you know what? I don't know. I had this whole soliloquy prepared about why they just truly don't and won't. And I'm just going to save it because my throat is starting to hurt. Nevertheless, I do like the fact that Aiden and Mariah tried to salvage something and book a boat the next damn day. What I didn't like, and it's like, here we go again. And this shit just make me feel like I don't ever want to be friends with anybody other than you now. So I don't want no group of homegirls. Or it's what happens when people are harboring things and speaking coded language. Simone said, welcome back to the group. And Contessa said, thank you, despite the fact that I had surgery. Contessa is feeling like y'all keep saying, welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I've been on the outs. I ain't with the group because of Mariah, and you know, or I'm not part of the group because of reasons like Mariah. No, I'm out because of surgery. So I think Contessa's wires got crossed in that situation. I'm just not understanding why her and Simone in that situation escalated to the magnitude in which it did. It was like Contessa was trying to explain and Simone was trying to explain.